Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share on this channel, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and we'll end the video with a message for the collective with oracle cards. So this video, we are talking about the last week of 2024. We're talking about December 23rd to 29th. So this week there's actually a lot of tension, a lot of friction aspect that might make us feel like we are on a crossroad, or we're feeling that tension and friction. Why? We'll of course talk about them, but just want to give an overall heads up of how this week energy is like. And in some way I have to say it does resonate with holidays, how many of us can feel like in holidays when we have to maybe attend to different kind of gatherings, whether this is with friends, family, co-worker, whatever type of situation, you're bound to have conversation or meet someone that don't necessarily have the same value, share the same POV with you, and there bound to be some kind of friction or tension that will arise in the midst of all these gatherings. So with the aspect that we're having this week, please do keep that in mind. Be mindful whenever you are in those gathering or social situation. Take care of your energy, take care of yourself, and be a bit mindful. And also, because of that, have a bit of grace for people around you as well, as we're all feeling those energy, but we're all working with them in our own ways. So yes, be mindful of that. So now let's talk about them, break it down day by day. On the 23rd Monday, the sun in Capricorn is going to square the nodes of fates, the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. That kind of marks the halfway point of eclipse season. So we're at a midway of two eclipse seasons. So 3 months ago we had eclipse season. 3 months later in 2025 we will have another eclipse season coming up. So today marks the midway point of between these two eclipse season. So it's a great time to have a little check-in point, reflect on what happened 3 months ago during eclipse season. Maybe the story, the lessons continue to unfold for you, and today you have a little moment of reflection to see how you're going so far and how would you like to continue and what's been unfolding for you. And then on 24th, 25th, depending on where you are in the world, but you're definitely feeling this aspect during these couple of days, which also marks the Christmas if you celebrate it. We have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini squaring Saturn in Pisces at 14 degrees. So this is quite big. This is the second of the 3 squares between Jupiter and Saturn that we will experience. The first one was back in August 1920th. You will probably recall, because during that time we did have some pretty big headline around the US DMZ, but also around the world. You can also look back and see what were you moving through, what was happening in your life during that time. This is the second time we have this square. The third one will be next year, but by the time we have that third final square, Jupiter and Saturn will be in different signs. So the flavor might be a little bit different, but it's also like this Jupiter-Saturn square. So this one, let's talk about it. First of all, let's take a look at the Jupiter-Saturn cycle, right? The two of them, they travel in different speed, but they do share a cycle together. So around 20 years or so, they will be at a point where they will conjunct each other, come together. And many of you might recall the great conjunction that happened back in 2020, December 21st. That is when the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius happened. It happened at the 0 degree at Aquarius, and it this conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn happens every 20 years or so, and that marks a 20-year cycle between the two of them, and each time they will kick up a new cycle, start up a new cycle for all of us. So during this 20-year cycle, there will be some check and point important aspect, and this Jupiter-Saturn square is one of the important ones. So now, 4 years later, we reach this opening square of Jupiter and Saturn. They are having this 90-degree square, and this can feel like a check and point, almost like at a crossroad in some way. This is the first quarter of the journey of Jupiter and Saturn together. So this can be a moment of check-in, a reflection, most importantly, on your own journey since 2020. And I feel like I can pretty much say that every one of us is changed in some way, shape, or form since then. So much has changed for you individually, and definitely for us as a collective. We are not the same, right? We are not the same person. The world is not the same. So much has changed, so much happened. And during the last 4 years, perhaps there are some changes and shifts within different areas of your life. Some belief system might not resonate. Some values might change. The way you operate, the way that what support you in your life change. You change, right? Maybe the way you see things change. The way you value different areas of your life change. What is no longer resonating? What is no longer aligned with you, right? This is that check-in point, because at this first quarter of this phase, when you have that opening square, this is when you look back the past 4 years. What have you been building? What have you been demolishing? What have you rebuilt? How have you expand and contract? Because Jupiter is all about expansion and Saturn is all about contraction. The two of them, when they come together, there's this friction, there's this push and pull. So that create that crossroad moment where you're feeling almost you have to choose. And it's kind of Jupiter and Saturn are coming together to invite you to see, to zoom out and reflect on what's been happening in your life the past 4 years. And so and also Mercury is going to aspect both of them the next day. So all together, it might be some information that is coming up, some reflection that thoughts will be coming up this week for you to look at, to reflect on. All the things I've just said, right? Maybe the current version of you change, right? Many aspects change. Different areas of your life no longer resonate the current version of you. How are you going to pick and choose? What kind of things, value, mindset no longer resonate? It's time to let it go. What is not working? It has to change. Maybe you try things. Maybe you make mistake. Maybe you have some win and have some lose. Now is the time to sift through them and see how do you want to move forward, right? What supports you and what does not. How can you do this reflection for yourself so that you can reflect on your life since 2020? How much have changed and what no longer align and work? You know, what is expired, what needs to be let go? And more importantly, how can you continue to grow, to build, to expand in a way that is realistic for you, that resonate the current version of you, that is not against the values, the beliefs, the system, the structure that holds true to you, to the current version of you. So see what comes up for you, what you're moving through this week, what's coming up for you, and take a moment to reflect on them. The next couple of days, we have December 26 to 27, because these aspects coming one after another, so you're definitely feeling the next couple of days. So Mercury in Sagittarius is going to first oppose Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, and then it's going to square Saturn in Pisces, the two planets we just talked about, the square that we just talked about, and now Mercury is going to aspect them to give you some more insights, information, moments of reflection, aha moment for you. First of all, Mercury opposed Jupiter. This is the third and final one. So is the square with Saturn. The first opposition with Jupiter was November 18, and then we have one in December the 4th, and now after Mercury station direct, we have the third and final opposition with Jupiter. And for the square with Saturn, the first one was November the 12th, and then we have December the 6th, and today now we have the last and final square between Mercury and Saturn. So now that we have the final of the three aspects that happen after Mercury station direct, it can be a week where you are closing out your Mercury retrograde story, right? Maybe something has been coming up for you during Mercury retrograde. Now you are seeing the clarity. Now you're seeing the answer, solution to what you've been moving through during Mercury retrograde, right? You're getting that aha moment. That final piece of puzzle is coming in. So see what comes up for you. Maybe check out and see what are the themes and topics in your Sagittarius house. It might review information in that house topic for you as well. So the two aspects that Mercury is making, the opposition with Jupiter and the square with Saturn, both of them coming together between these 2 days, calls for chaos and tension, friction. Yes, I know, it seems like, oh my god, this week is just so right? Yes, and guess what? It resonates with the holiday season where argument, conflict, disagreement might happen. So it might be that, right? I mean, I can pretty sure say with confidence that I'm pretty sure I can say it with confidence that maybe not all of us, but definitely many of us experience some type of tension and friction when we are in family, friends, co-working situation gatherings during the holiday season, because like I said, we will meet people that will not see eye to eye. And that is what the aspect is about. It's about Mercury, conversation, exchanging of ideas, value, beliefs, and point of view about different things around the world and individually and so on and so forth. And I'm sure there will be some conversation that will come up that create tension, friction between you and other people. So be mindful. Know that this is the aspect that is adding to this week whenever you are interacting with others. Be mindful with that energy. Give yourself some grace. Give other people some grace and kindness during this week as well. And then on 28th, we have Venus in Aquarius squaring Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So this can be a moment of surprise, out of the blue moment. This square between Venus and Uranus can bring in some unexpected encounters. Maybe you will bump into someone, right? Maybe for some, this is bumping into your ex, bumping into a friend you haven't talked to for a long time. For some, this can be an interesting encounter where you maybe you strike up a conversation with a stranger and it's weird but funny, or weird but interesting that you didn't expect. Or this can be a catch up between your friends, you and your friends, and you have some interesting moment, right? So this can be that. And for some, because Venus talks about money matters, so maybe this is some surprising news that comes in about your money matter, your investment, and so on and so forth. For some, this is definitely relationship matters. With a square in Uranus, of course, things always go both ways. This can be the two of you if you are paired up. Maybe this is the two of you getting adventurous, trying something new, doing something exciting, adventurous, new, right? It's holiday season. Maybe this is checking out that new Christmas market, or that new menu in new restaurants, or so on and so forth. Maybe this is you being adventurous in the bedroom and try out something, spice something out, right? Who knows, right? And maybe for some, this is a realization of something that is not working, right? A square creates friction. It requires some kind of action to alleviate, to move that energy. So yes, maybe for some this can be on the heavier side, where this square will bring in something that you have been ignoring, that it can bring in a breakup or a breaking free from something, right? So everyone will feel it differently depending on your own human story. So see what happens for you. Finally, on the 29th, we have Chiron stationing direct at 19 degrees in Aries. It will be December 29, 1:12 p.m. Pacific time, or December 30th, 5:12 a.m. Hong Kong time. So just the time according to where you are in the world. Chiron has been retrograding since July 26th, from 23 degrees back to 19 degrees. So if you have any planets or point between 19 to 23, you might feel this energy a little bit more. But whenever Chiron station, it always kind of bring in a moment of tenderness for all of us, maybe individually or at a collective level, right? Chiron is about that wounded warrior, wounded healer energy. Definitely during Chiron station, maybe not all of us, but some of us definitely feel a little bit more tender and sensitive. Old wounds and triggers, experience or traumas might come up to kind of bring in that moment of tenderness today. And if you're feeling this, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Sometimes they're not here to like remind you of, oh yeah, that hurts, right? Yes, maybe it's here to remind you how far you have come, the healing journey you have been on, the rediscover or discovering of yourself. So see what comes up for you today or this week towards the end, and don't forget how far you have come, what you have been moving through. And maybe this trigger comes up to remind you to see the work that you have been doing and how can you continue to move forward. Or if you have not started, this might be a little nudge from the universe to remind you that, hey, it's time to look within, to look deeper, to let yourself be on this journey of self-healing, self-discovery, or rediscovery journey. 19 degrees in Aries is also a little special because this is where we had that April 7 or 8 solar eclipse in Aries that was wow, right? Like many of us saw it. Well, not me, many people saw it, especially if you are in the US. I think it moved across US, parts of I think Mexico, and so on and so forth. So today the station at 19 degrees in Aries, for some of us, not all, for some of us it might trigger or reveal what has been unfolding since that eclipse in April as well. Maybe this is something unfolding more, this is a development, a breakthrough point, it depends what you're moving through, what that eclipse revealed to you. So check and see what you're feeling. And some of you, maybe you're feeling it earlier because Aries has been sitting at this 19 degrees since mid-November. So maybe you have been getting some glimpse, receiving something already, looking at something, what this means for you. And today the station point might give you more information as well. So that is all the astrology. I know this week feels a little bit doom and gloom in some way. There's a lot of square, tension, friction coming up. So do take care of your energy. Be nice to yourself and others around you. So let's take a look at our collective message. I just pulled an oracle card for this week and I love it. Here we go. We have 31 why. I feel like this why will come up for many of us this week. Why is this coming up? What is it trying to reveal? What is it trying to teach you, tell you? And why does it have to happen now? Maybe this week you will be moving through something and all this square and tension might bring up something for you. Maybe it's through a conversation, through an argument or disagreement, maybe through a news or through something, a past memory, right? No matter what comes up for you, I want you to be curious, to look at it with a curious lens, right? Why is it coming up? Maybe it is revealing something more that I need to look within. Maybe this is trying to teach me something, tell me something. And most importantly, whatever comes up this week, I feel like some of us might feel like they come up for a reason to remind you of your why. Why are you moving through this right now, and what is it trying to show you? Maybe there has been something that you ignore or you didn't know, and now it's showing up. And remember, 31 breaks down to a 4. Maybe this is coming up so that you can take a look at the foundation, the core structure that you have been building for yourself. Is it serving you? Is it strong enough to hold you, to nourish you, to support you as you continue to move forward? Or are you at a phase where you are rebuilding the structure so you can have a different foundation, or a newer, stronger foundation that can support the current version of you as you continue to move through your journey? From the Moonology, we have last quarter moon in Scorpio, review what needs to be seen. And we have last quarter moon in Aries, working through your feelings. Wow. Okay. So these two definitely is showing up, and they're both last quarter, right? So for some, this is a week where you're closing out something. And I mean, a lot of us are experiencing closing up of a cycle, situation, relationship, chapter of your life, whatever it is. Some of my clients are definitely moving through that, and we're closing out a year. So this energy really makes sense. And like I said, this week has a lot of tension, friction, and it might push through those friction, those tension might push through and reveal something for you to see. So for many of us, this might bring in some big feelings and emotions. Whatever comes up for you, I hope you can give yourself some grace and love through it all while you navigate through it. And I'm wishing you all a happy, restful holidays if you're celebrating. And if not, just simply having some time for yourself. Rest is very important, right? And take care of your energy this week. I'm sending you all so much love. If I can be an assistant to help you move through what you are going through a tarot akashic records reading, an astrology consultation, or a distant reiki healing session, email me. My information in the description box below. Wishing you all a great week ahead. Take care of yourself. Sending you so much love. Thank you. Bye.